The newest livestream for Konosuba Fantastic Days JP version just happened, and the big topic was, of course, the new collaboration with the Eminence in Shadow. If you don't know what the series is about, I'm not going to fully explain it to you, but there's a guy who wants to be really strong and he couldn't get stronger in his world, so of course he got reincarnated in a new world where he found a lot of new friends, and he's now super powerful and he thinks he makes stuff up, but in reality the stuff is really happening and stuff like that. It's a fun series. I highly recommend you checking out if you didn't already. There are probably other people who do a better summary of what it does, but if you saw the epic meme of I Am Atomic, that's the series. Go watch it. I'm not going to explain too much because there's so much we need to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. First up, the coloration will drop on January 31st. 5 p.m. Japanese time, so 8 a.m. European time, for example, which means I will be live streaming my summons next week, Wednesday, so make sure to make a reminder, like, subscribe, follow, so you don't miss it, because it will be a really POC stream, and I really hope I don't get bankrupt about this collaboration. Now let's take a quick detour to the Discord before we continue, because of course I was trying to chat with different people and see what's going to happen. We knew a few things about the collaboration, okay? We knew it was coming. Based on the teaser image, we knew that Shadow was one of the units that is coming to the collaboration. We didn't know yet if it was a pullable unit or if it was a welfare. We also knew, based on the background of the art, let me just show it real quick. We know that there's also an alpha in there, so the chance of alpha being a unit in a collaboration was also pretty likely. And thanks to some other stuff, we knew that a collaboration Yunyun would be coming. There was also a teaser with Megumin that you probably saw in my other YouTube video. If you haven't checked it out, click on the top right there. And that means that we're probably getting a collaboration Megumin and Yunyun, which kind of made me sad because I thought this is a collaboration that finally opens the opportunity for a new collaboration Kazuma, because the last collaboration Kazuma was Overlord, so 2-3 years ago, and meanwhile Megumin just had 3 collabs already. Well, in theory there were 4 collabs and one of them she didn't get a unit, but that was ReZero rerun, where first no unit got a new costume and B, Megumin already had a ReZero costume, so there was a pullable costume Megumin in that collaboration somehow. So in theory the last 4 out of 4 collaborations already had a Megumin, so I was really hoping we don't get new Megumin. Okay, so first up they showed the characters. Shadow, aka Cid Kageno, his normal version name. The interesting part here is that there's actually a live 2D model for his normal outfit, so there might be a chance that we actually get a normal Cid Kageno as the welfare for part 2, for example. We don't know that yet, but there's a live 2D model for him in the story that we've seen so far. There was like no information on him, so I'm really curious. And then they also showed us Alpha and Beta, which pretty much confirms that these are the 2 units that are coming to the collaboration. We'll see that in a few if it's true or not. And no other units, interestingly. The last 2 collabs actually had like multiple units, with one of them was an assist, and well, 3 new units to be honest, with one of them being a welfare. And the fact that Cid is also a welfare, I expected at least 3 girls, and then like 3 girls, 2 costumes, aka a total of 5 units, 3 in a first banner, 2 in a second, but that wasn't the case, so we'll see what that means. Summarizing of the story was again a rainbow creature, in that case a rainbow frog appeared, eat them, and they got to the Konosuba world. So TLDR, rainbow monsters in the Konosuba universe are so OP they can literally go to different universes and bring characters to your world. Thank you, rainbow animals, for making new collaborations for us and pretty much killing my wallet, right? Then we have the boss of the first part of the event. It's Diablo Cult Goblin, I think, or Orc, whatever, I'm not sure. Diablo Cult is like the main evil organization in the Eminence in Shadow, so it kind of makes sense. There will be global license, of course, that gives us quartz, some new coins, and a new bond food. That's right, you see it right, it's BORGARs. We will be getting burgers in Konosuba Fantastic Days as the bond food for our new collaboration units. And yes, you can see here, right, that image pretty much confirms that Alpha will be one of the units and Cid will also be one of the units. With that out of the way, one last thing to show here is the roadmap roughly of the whole collaboration. We start, as I said before, on January 31st, and part 1 will go until February 13th, and February 14th to February 26th will be part 2. So there will be 2 event parts, so there should probably be a second welfare. We don't know yet what welfare will be, so that will be interesting to see. But there's 2 things that I want to note here. First up, by going until the end of February, we will not be getting a Valentine's Day banner this time. Okay? Second thing is, if you don't remember what end of February means, that's the mark for the 4th anniversary. That's right, 4 years of Konosuba Fantastic Days. And I'm really hyped for it. I'm still surprised that the game is lasting for over 4 years soon. And there will be a live event, there will be a lot of stuff happening. We also got some news information already for the 4th anniversary. We talk about it at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. And that also brings one drawback with it, and we'll talk about it in a second, okay? Because now it's time to actually check out all the new units, shall we? With that, we mute this audio and enjoy.
父影第一隻アルファ、我らシャドウガーデンと共に戦いたいの。さあ、始めましょう。
First unit, Alpha.
父影第2隻ベータです。この世界の出来事をシャドウ様戦記に書かないと。こちらベータ、任務開始します。
Second unit, Beta.
我が爆裂魔法とシャドウの技、どちらが強いかとくと見よ。これぞ闇と紅の共演。
Third unit, Megumin.
これで私がシャドウガーデンに入れたらお友達がたくさんできる。呼吸を合わせて決めポーズ。
Fourth unit, Yunyun.
俺たちはカズマガーデン。昼に働き、夜は休みし者。俺こそが実力者だ。
And fifth unit, Kazuma. That's right, we are actually getting 5 units, and I'm really happy that we are getting a new Kazuma. But kinda as expected, we also getting a new Megumin, which really makes me sad. Especially with knowing her kit, I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, before we actually go to that, they also showed the new units in action. So let me just scroll a little bit ahead so you can actually see the units in action, because I think it's cool to see how the skills look like, and especially the end pose. Starting off with Cid Kageno. Normal basic. Cool move, single target hit that gives him a tier 2 dark damage boost self. Another single target hit that blinds the enemy. And his I am atomic ulti with a guaranteed crit on all enemies. And an attack boost that we just saw. Okay, lightning basic, lightning single target speed hit, and a triple hit. You can also see a speed boost and her ulti. AoE damage, tier 1 lightning damage boost to the whole team, and the self ulti boost tier 2. Okay, another basic for Beta, another triple hit with a self tier 2 EX boost, an AoE skill with a tier 2 Reshred, and her ulti with a tier 1 lightning damage boost to your whole team. And here we can also see the end pose fitting together with all 5 units, as we pretty much used to with collaborations. Okay, now let's take a quick look towards the Discord to actually go through every kit in more detail. First up, the artworks again. Here we have Alpha, we have Beta, we have the Megumin, we have Yunyun. I'm really happy, by the way, about the Yunyun. Not saying why I like the outfit on Yunyun more than on Megumin, but it should be pretty obvious. And I want an Aqua more than a Megumi, sorry guys, but I'm an Aqua simp, it's my fault. And last but not least, the Kazuma. Okay, we just have some images here of the skills, but first let's scroll all the way down here for the translation of Shadow skills. First up, his attack is increased if using dark attribute damage, so he's a dark damage boost up passive trait. Slam Sword, non-elemental physical damage to one enemy. Perfect for entertainment, 171 dark physical damage to one enemy. By the way, let me also enable music again. I think that makes it a little bit more entertaining. Increase to own dark attribute damage, as we saw, for 12 seconds. The crowbar is good. Yes, he attacks with the crowbars, which is also relevant in the anime, so that's kind of cool that it's implemented here. 199 physical dark damage to one enemy and medium chance of turning it into darkness, aka blinding the enemy, for 12 seconds. Then we have his ulti, his legendary I Am Atomic. 148 dark physical critical damage to all enemies and greatly increase physical attack of all allies for 12 seconds, and special gauge fill rate is a little harder than usual, aka he takes longer to ult than a normal unit. Next one is of course then Alpha. She has a passive trait that boosts physical attack damage. Slime Sword, 113 light physical damage to one enemy, so she actually has an elemental basic, so that's pretty good. Can I delete it first? 142 or 187 when HP 70% or above, physical light damage to one enemy, and moderate increase to the special skill gauge of all allies. And then we have Show Your Power, randomly deals 118 physical light damage to an enemy 3 times, and moderately increased agility of all allies by 12 seconds. So another tier 2 speed boost unit for the light element. Then his ulti is I Don't Have to Suffer Anymore, 270 physical light damage to all enemies and slightly increase light damage to all allies EX for 14 seconds, and greatly increase attack power when attacking with special skills for 14 seconds. This is only self, and this is the ulti damage boost that we saw before. Speaking of light unit, let's also talk about Megumin real quick here, since she's the other light unit in the first half of the banners. She boosts magic attack damage passive trait. She has of course non-elemental basic. She has Bright Potion plus 119 or 152 when HP 70% or above, light attribute magic damage to all enemies, and slightly increased damage due to weak attribute EX for 10 seconds. And another potion skill, 125 or 161 when HP 70% or above, light attribute magic damage, and medium increase in everyone's special skill gauge. So if you follow the JP timeline a bit and the units, this is just this is just Hari Suzumiya Megumin, or more like Yukinagata Megumin. Just exact same skills, just different element. I'm not sure about the damage numbers. I haven't compared them yet. If she's like a little bit stronger and with that little bit better off rate, I'm not sure. But in the end, it's pretty much just the same. And I might be wrong here, but there's a good chance that you can just get away with using the other Megumin instead of that one in the next light arena, and just do pretty much the same, because you only lose the damage of the Reshred skill, which is like a skill that doesn't even, get boosted by magic attack boost, and she has none. It doesn't get boosted by having Reshred an enemy beforehand, so the damage of this Megumin will be low anyway, and with that, I'm really not sure if she's actually like that great or not. Now let's talk about the lightning units. We have of course Beta, again physical attack boosting passive trait, light physical damage to one enemy 130%. Again, elemental basics, great to have. Fulfill your mission. Randomly deals 129 physical lightning damage to an enemy 3 times, and moderately increase own physical attack EX for 12 seconds. Self buff, important. Then Shadow Sama, Are You Watching? 113 or 144 when HP 70% or above. Physical lightning damage to all enemies and increased damage caused by weak point for 12 seconds, aka tier 2 Reshred. Another small detail here, we recently got 2 really strong lightning units, aka Fast Mitsurugi and Fantasy Fast Iris, which are both great in AoE arenas. We have with Iris an attack buffer and a speed boost provider unit. We have with Mitsurugi a lot of damage providers, so she really fits in well there by being the AoE Reshred unit that we kinda were lacking. It's sad that she doesn't have any kind of Reshred for your whole team. not reshred, sorry, CDR for the whole team, because it's also something the team would love to have more. But it is what it is. I still think she can fit in great in there, and with that she's probably one of the better units on this banner. And then her ulti, everything for the lot, 237 physical lightning damage to all enemies, and small increase in lightning damage to all allies, which is also great to have, and shortens own charge time. Again, own charge time, so she at least has self CDR, and her ulti takes less gauge to be ready than usual, which means she probably fits in great in there. It's kind of sad again that she doesn't have a team reshred or a team gauge up, but I still think she could fit into that team really, really well. The other lightning unit is of course Yunyun, and I think she's also a pretty interesting unit. Passive trait is pretty basic, also lightning physical damage, also pretty basic for a mage. Then Thunderstorm plus 111 or 140 when HP 70% or above, lightning magic damage to all enemies, and moderate increase in special skill gauge for all allies. So we have gauge up, good to have, good start. And then 141 or 185 when HP 70% above, lightning magic damage to all enemies, and slightly increased damage due to weak point EX for 12 seconds. So, first thing that comes to my mind, EX reshred, great to have. She's full AoE, so in a full AoE Magic Arena team, she can probably exceed other units and be one of the best units in there. Having EX reshred is always a nice bonus. Keep in mind, Yunyun can use her ulti 1 version 2 to buff your team, or she can just use her ulti 2, which is a lightning ultimate, and with that potentially just deal a lot of damage as well. So in that regard, I actually think this unit might just be a really, really good unit. Sure, she doesn't have that much assistance like other units have, no speed boost and stuff like that, but I still think she might be a really good unit if we have the right team for her. And with the fact that we just recently got the new Wiz, we have the Comico, I think Yunyun might actually have a good place or a good chance to be meta in future AoE mage lightning arenas. And physical, probably not so much. And hybrids, we'll see. It really depends. Then, last but not least, we have of course Kazuma. By the way, one thing I completely forgot to mention are the names of some of the units. So for example, Megumin is literally called I Am Explosion, so referencing the meme I Am Atomic. And Kazuma is literally called Kazuma Garden instead of Shadow Garden. I thought it's really, really funny. So they were creative with the names. Here's a non-elemental physical attack. Again, basic but satch. Boosts physical attack passive trait. Also normal. Then his skills. First skill is attack command plus, medium increase in attack power for all allies when attacking of special skill for 12 seconds, and small increase in physical attack EX for 12 seconds. So a non-damaging skill. Then his second skill is chaos slash plus, randomly deals 137 dark physical to an enemy 3 times, and reduce skill charge time for all allies. So this Kazuma is a little bit weird, but I still think there's a chance that he can get used. The first important thing is, of course, what is the CDR? Is it 6 seconds? Is it only 4 seconds? That can make or break him a lot. Then also, what team will be around him? See, he has like no reshred. He has at least CDR. He has no gauge up. He has no speed. Like, he has no buff abilities. I'm not sure how much use he will see, but the only idea I have right now is the fact that, you know, Forbidden Megumin's ulti deals damage per attack, and the fact that both Shadow and him have like a free hit attack with CDR could potentially mean that like the Megumin plus these two with a lot of hits versus single target enemy could be a really strong team, but it's just speculating. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about are the medal exchange. They will, again, as said before, some new medals. On part 1, you can get Alpha's weapon, and you probably can get Cid Kageno's, Shadow's weapon. And then on part 2, you can probably get Beta's weapon, a new earring, and just more one food. There's also this special weapon here that's so far not mentioned, which really looks like a weapon for, you know, a Cid Kageno, if based on the anime that I've seen, my knowledge stuff. So I'm still believing that Cid Kageno might just be the wearer of part 2, and that's his weapon, and we just get the weapon in part 2. not through the exchange shop, but through the normal event shop. That's my prediction. Could be right, could be wrong. There's that. And now we need to switch over to Twitter to show you something. Yeah, I really don't like it. Okay. So if we scroll up a little bit, we see all the information we had so far, the events, the banners, the skills again. They even don't show the skills of the other units, and here we have the big point of contention. Compared to normal collaborations with part 1 and part 2, we actually have a part 1, 2, and 3 banner this time. Part 1 will have Alpha and Megumin, part 2 will have Beta and Yunyun, and part 3 will have Kazuma. That's 3 banners right before the 4th anniversary. That's I'm not a huge fan. I mean, otherwise we would get Valentine's instead, so it kind of just equals out, I guess. But in the same time, oh, it's really bad. There was like hope for me a little bit that like, yo, there's like the ticket pool. If you can get Kazuma, that's a banner you can skip, and then maybe it's just fine, but that's low odds. And also, there's this sentence here on the right, and if we just translate it to Germany, I'm sorry, my PC set to German, it says, in part 3, could there be another character besides Kazuma? ... question mark. So this kind of means there might be a new pullable unit in part 3 that they just haven't announced, and here begins the speculation. Like, this can be pretty much anything. Could it be a new character out of the Eminence and Shadow universe? Could it be a new Konosuba character in a costume? Aqua, please, cope. Could it be a completely new unit that just gets released with him, that has nothing to do with the collaboration? Or is there just no unit and they're just teasing with us? I think the last option is the least likely, but you know, they just said there could be, but it's not like, will there? It's a question, so you know, I'm really curious to learn what they mean with that. I really hope we get Aqua here. That would be Pog or Darkness. To be honest, Darkness also deserves it. Darkness, last collaboration, it was a while ago. We then of course have our updated Migu spin-off daily explosion ritual with Shadow in there for some bonus rewards. I would expect we just get the same rewards with Bond Food on top of it, kind of like we had with the Slime one and Milim. We have some campaigns going on with like double EXP, double free quest, and double points, so nothing too crazy. We will also get a new Fin Quest stage, of course, with higher 3-star fame trait drop rates for Shadow, Alpha, Beta, Kazuma, Megumin, and Yunyun. Again, it might be another new one that come in here, not sure. Turkey just said Darkness or the girlfriend characters. Again, there's a lot of possibilities. If we actually get normal Cid, a girlfriend character would also make sense, or just a collab character in an outfit like that could also make sense. There's a lot of options. We of course have some login campaigns. We have a countdown now to the collaboration that will give us cards, and on the first day we also get 3,000 cards for free. I mean, hey, that's a nice boost, right? But nothing too crazy. The daily spinny wheel will be back. We actually get 30 pulls guaranteed on day 11, 20, and the last day. So we have 3 times guaranteed 30 pulls. Could always be 50, but it's at least guaranteed 30. And the other days it's just either 5, 10, 20, 30, or 50 pulls. I really hope I can get a collab unit out of that, but the odds are rather low. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But dude, that would be hype. Speaking of collab units, there will be of course different banners. We have a 1 4-star guaranteed banner that gives us a ticket that will guarantee us a collaboration unit. That's great to have. We have the 10 4-star multi, the Me multi. The collab units are in there. There's no rate up, I would assume. So it would be a Hail Mary like on my Slime Summons. By the way, if you haven't watched my Slime Summons, this is a small spoiler, so I recommend you pausing the video, checking out the summons top right, and then you can continue here. But back then I actually got the Milliam off rate here from that banner, so that was a saving grace, so maybe I need to come back to it as well. But there's also a selection multi, so you can select 10 characters, and out of the 10 characters you get at least 1 4-star, and every 4-star on that multi is one of these selected units. So You know, with 5 new units, that's a 5 out of 10, aka a 50-50 chance if the at least one 4-star you get is one of the collaboration units. If you get lucky and there are 2 or 3 4-stars, you may get lucky and get multiple. So I think that's a really cool banner with that amount of new units to select here. Then, speaking of 4th anniversary, this is the first anniversary news, and for that I actually switched back to my Discord because I think the translated image here is a little bit better describing it. First, at the end of January, we get improved display location. I'm not really sure exactly what that means, but you can apparently display your arena rankings and the titles better to your friends, not just some UI stuff, but I mean, hey, that's something. And then the 2 big ones are what's coming in February. First, challenge battle added to the 4th anniversary. Added a high difficulty quest where you can get titles. Challenge mission will also be added. I'm not 100% sure how this thing will work. We have no more information about this text, but it gives me a little bit of hope that we might actually get some kind of endgame content in Konosuba Fantastic Days besides Arena. Like, for example, in Genshin Star Rail, you might know that there's like every 2 weeks something resets and then you can do it again. Maybe we just get like a title every 2 weeks with hard difficulty challenges that you need to beat. And once you did them, you get the title, maybe you get a little bit of quartz, and like a few weeks after it resets. It could also be just a one and done thing like the arena milestones, so I'm not really sure if it will be something like that, but at least it's something new. At least it sounds like it could be difficult. I'm not sure how difficult it will be for me as a whale and having a lot of characters, so we'll see how it goes, but it's still, I think, a good step in the right direction. And also character rank function added. From what I understand, based on the gibberly text that's down there, the more units of a character you have, the stronger the character becomes after you develop the statue of the membership, whatever that means. So, for example, if you have a lot of Kazumas, and for each Kazuma you maybe push them to max with, like, I don't know, max level and max skill potions or whatever, that will boost the damage of all you Kazumas, potentially, or so. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but it's a new way to increase your character's damage potential even more. For me, it can potentially be really great with having all the units, since it just allows me to use that power even more, and don't make me feel bad for pulling for useless units because they still increase the power of the other units, potentially. Again, 4th Anni will tell us more about that, and if that's really coming or what's going to happen there. I don't know, but it's still something cool, hopefully, in the future. Then we, of course, have the live stream on February 25th. And I think 1 day later or 2 days later, the anniversary actually starts. Again, the live stream is a live event. It will happen in 30 days from today. So if you are in Japan at that point of time and you can get a ticket, maybe go there. It could be really funny. They already said all the special tickets are sold out, so there are only like normal tickets left, but you would still get the live reading, you still get a goodie bag and stuff like that. So I still think it's worth to go there, even if you don't have to. We also get a new Twitter campaign dropping on January 31st that gives us 1,000 quads if you get 5,000 likes and retweets. Here's the QR code for more stuff about the live event happening. And that's it. That's the end. I mean, it was still a lot of information to discuss here. I probably talked for way too long, but I want to give you guys the most detailed summary I can with all the personal opinions and recommendations of the units that I can. By the way, these are the live people that are actually at the live event. We have, of course, Kazuma's voice actor, Jin Fukushima. We have Darkness's voice actor, I. We have Ari's voice actor, and last but not least, what I personally think is cool, Komiko's voice actor. If you didn't know that, she actually came to Germany last year for the Animagic as a Dragon Maid panel, since she's also the voice actor of Kana from Dragon Maid. So I actually saw her in person. I got an autograph from her, so I think it's really cool to know that she's there. So I kind of want to go there, but spontaneous trip to Japan is too much for me, so I suddenly need to pass there. But of course, I will watch the live stream. I will restream the live stream here with all information and share everything I can. So I hope this video helps you out. If you did, like, subscribe, follow for more content. Again, don't miss the summon stream next week, Wednesday. Normal stream time, aka probably 5 PM UTC +1, aka after my work time in Germany. I can't stream earlier than that since work, sorry. But I hope I see you all there, or worst case, I see you all on the next live stream or the next live stream summary for the 4th anniversary with hopefully a lot of new POC informations. And whenever I get any kind of information about the secret character that's coming for the collaboration, I of course make an updated video as well. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and sorry for no audio, my phone turned off, and I guess with that the music died, sorry for that. But yeah, still hope you enjoyed it, and see you all in the next one. Bye!
だから